Yo, YouTube, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to share a travel story, and I might begin to share some travel stories as somebody who has traveled in a lot of places. And this particular video is when I was robbed in Morocco. And the reason I wish to share these sort of messages is because, again, I was a naive traveler at the time. I was young, and it was my first time in Africa alone. So yeah, there's things that I hope that if I share, you'd be more wise. So it's always better to learn from others' mistakes and others' lessons rather than go through it yourself. So yeah, this was a particular holiday many years ago. I'll probably say about 2016, 17, something like that. And I was in Morocco, and I was actually with my girlfriend at the time in Morocco. And again, like I said, I had been to Africa before, but it was my first time like alone in Africa, and I was there with my girlfriend at the time who had never even been to Africa. So it's a completely different culture. I was kind of used to it already because I had been to other places in Africa. Um, but yeah, I was certainly still like a newbie solo traveler. Like I was always used to traveling with family, or traveling with people, that kind of thing, where I was guided. But I was still certainly young here, I believe. So what happened now? So yeah, in Morocco, so we were out in the I can't even remember the names. It was Marrakesh, by the way. So we were out in the tourist places, like walking through like the places where you see people selling things and things like that. I wish I could like name you the place, but if you've been to Morocco, you've probably been there, and you'll see people in Morocco that try to lead you around. And one thing I don't want to put any like bash the country or whatever, but one thing I didn't like about Morocco, I felt the hospitality was transactional. For me, genuine hospitality is, without expecting anything in return, without expecting any form of compensation, like just genuinely. But of course, in this world, in this day and age, genuine hospitality is certainly hard to find. So people will offer you tea, they'll offer you this because they want money from you, and it's sort of an expectation. Tipping culture was also very prevalent there. Um, if you're from the States, obviously you're used to that, but it's like an expectation. Like, yeah. So again, so there was people that would pretend to be super friendly. So I believe they speak French and Arabic there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But some people can speak English. Of course, it's a touristy area. I'm sure it's the same in Casablanca. Some people can speak English. So we were there, just exploring the city, exploring the town. There was other tourists there as well, and the first instance, there was a particular guy. He was like, "Hey, fish." Of course, bear in mind he's skilled. He's interacted with many different tourists and foreigners. So he recognized that we were from the UK. Then he would say things like his English was certainly better than the average person, with an accent, of course. And he would be like, fish and chips, welcome, welcome. Like, hey, let me show you this, let me show you. He'd be walking us around, and the person doesn't really look threatening. He didn't really look threatening. He was even this particular first man was a smaller man. I say smaller because he was considerably smaller than my girlfriend. And so he was just leading us around. He was like, "You want this? We show you leather, leather." He took us, so he just showed us around. He was just super friendly, laughing, talking, walking. And in my mind, especially as again someone who's new to traveling, he's probably expecting some kind of fee. But the way he said it, like we spoke to him, he was like, "Oh no, no, no money, no money," blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. And bear in mind, at the time when I was traveling, I used to like look expensive. I used to look like a foreigner. Like I used to carry, what was it? A camera, a Nikon camera, like, and I'll have it in like its holder and walk around with it like that, and a backpack. And obviously, I look different to the people in that location. That's why I always try and say, try and travel to destinations where the people look like you, so you can sort of blend in and assimilate more into the culture easily. But obviously, I would stand out. Me and my girlfriend, we stood out like a sore thumb. So it's obviously clear as day we were foreigners, and I'm there with a like $500 camera on my chest. Obviously, it was concealed, but still. So I just looked like a target, looked like a victim. Obviously, that's unwise to do. You genuinely don't really want to wear gold and wear just like nice watches unless you're in Dubai or something. You genuinely don't want to attract too much attention to yourself, because you're already attracting attention to yourself because you're a foreigner, and the locals know that you're a foreigner. There's nothing you could do to hide it. So yeah, he led us to like this pit. So it's a Muslim country as well. So I have to add that. So it's advised to dress more conservatively. So he led us to like some place where two like assassin looking guys were standing outside selling leather or something, and looked inside, didn't see any sign of life. I think there was like sheep's in there and like cattle and things like that, and they were like, "Yeah, come inside, come inside." Um, um, but something in my spirit said no. don't go inside. Something in my spirit said no, and I was like, look, I just don't feel comfortable. And obviously, as a man, I'm leading my girlfriend as well, because if I said yeah, she's just naively following my leadership. So it's very important. So something in my spirit, even at that time, just said no, I'm not going inside. Then the guy said, look, this is a Muslim country. We don't do that over here. We don't do that. Blah 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 blah. And when I went online later, I found out that they lead you in there, they trap you inside. Like literally, it was like a desert kind of area. It was like a huge piece of land, and yeah, they might have had leather, but it was just no. I didn't see any sign of life in there. And I found out that it's a scam, that they take what you have, take your money, and then let you go, kind of thing. So that same day, went away. Eventually found another man who said he's going to lead us here, lead us there. And this is why I don't like to follow. Like, I don't like to follow anybody. Like, if I go to a country and they're like, follow this person, and it's like, who is this person? Does this person have a job here? Like, no, don't follow them. Follow this guy, and he's taking us through like the Medina. I think that's the correct word. It's like tight, like Assassin's Creed type, like movie type, like tight passages and things like that. And then he's being all friendly, he's being nice, and like he even had earphones in on one ear, and then the other, like he's dressed really like these guys are skilled. Yeah, and I even took a video of him. I even have a video of him on my phone, on my memory somewhere till this day. And this man was, and then all of a sudden he takes us down these arrows. He was like, oh, almost there, almost there. Look, just a little bit. Obviously, I was thinking it was weird. Like that's why I brought my phone out, take a video, and I probably posted it just in case. But then eventually he takes us down, obviously into his place, and he turns around. He's like, problem, blah, give me this, blah blah blah. And bear in mind, again, I got a nick on my chest. I'm thinking, foolish me. And bear in mind, even at that time, hand-to-hand combat, this guy didn't have any sort of weaponry or anything like that, but what in his domain, he obviously knows the neighborhood, that kind of thing. If it was just me alone, I probably could have just ran, because I'm a sprinter. I probably could have just ran and just escaped somehow, or I could have knocked him out as well. But then again, and this is why I say you're more vulnerable if you're on a vacation with a woman. So it was just me and her, so I was more vulnerable, so I couldn't just knock him out, I couldn't run, because that puts her at greater risk. So luckily I had some cash, and this is why I always recommend traveling. Always carry cash no matter what. You never know when you might have to tip someone. You know what? You never want to know when you give someone. You never know when you have to bribe someone. So I had cash, fortunately. If I didn't, I could have lost the camera. I probably would have fought for it. Probably would have given him something else, to be honest. But yeah, I just gave him 100 dirhams. I think it was 100 dirhams. It was like $10 equivalent. And then he let us go. Basically, he just calmed down. He just switched on us. He was all friendly and happy. That's what they do. All friendly and happy. They take you to somewhere. Maybe you're not comfortable, or they know very well, then they just switch on you. That's what he did. So obviously my woman at the time was very scared, and I had to protect her. I couldn't just run out on her and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we had to do. And then obviously he led us into some strange path. He didn't really show us the way out. He was like, go that way. And we went that way, and then there was a group of boys. Now there was like 15 of them, like Moroccan gangsters. And they tried to, luckily we were close to the street, they tried to chance us again. They were like, yo, what you got, blah 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 blah. And luckily, we just moved quick, and then we didn't run, but we just moved quick, and then we got past them. But they tried to get something from us, so he obviously took us to the hood. That's basically what he did. Took us to the hood, and they tried to chance to find. Luckily we found a bus. But yeah, that ruined our trip, man. Morocco was so nice and sweet and affordable before that. But that bad experience sort of ruined my trip, especially for her. For me, obviously, as a dude, I'd been in situations already, and it was just oh, yeah, that was a bummer. I lost $10, but to him, that was a day's wage. To him, he could go and feed his family with that, and he'll probably be back to it tomorrow. And part of the scam, also, I want to add, is that when this guy was showing us around, he would always point to us foreigners. We saw, there was a time we saw two white girls, probably from France, because there's a lot of French tourists, because they speak French. He points, he's like, see, to make you feel okay. And we see them, and they're in the same scam, being run by a different person. So all of these scams exist all around the world. But I'm grateful for a lot of these experiences, because now I'm at a position where I can't be chanced overseas. Nobody can chance me, because I don't listen to anybody. I listen to God. And that's what I recommend you do too. I hope that was something for you.